My name's Nicholas Chilmate. I'm the Quality Coordinator for the Sterile Service Department at Musgrove Park Hospital. We started off with 6 apprentices. 2 have now left our department. One's moved on to another area in Musgrove Park Hospital to start another apprenticeship, and another one moved on to healthcare up at Exeter. So presently we have 4 apprentices working within the department. We run a sterile service department here. What we do is process equipment for the trust. It's around about 4,000 items a week that we're processing, and which is used within theatres and wards and clinics within the trust. We heard about the apprenticeship scheme through the trust, which had an open day where they had people from various colleges, and my manager and myself were quite impressed with what we saw and felt there was a opening there for our department to take on apprenticeships. It's been a very successful apprenticeship. Of the 6 apprentices, I can't say one of them have, they've all been absolutely superb. The standard which we had for each, we introduced them in pairs, so we didn't have a block of 6 people starting. We had starting in groups of 2, and each time the standards sort of improved on each pair, and it was a very good selection. It was really pleased with what we had. We used the college to in the interview stages, so we had input to the qualifications of each candidate. And throughout the training, we stayed in good communications with Somerset College to ensure that each candidate was getting the right training on both sides, on the practical and theoretical side of the training. They were achieving their MVQ3 in healthcare studies. They've all achieved this now, and through obviously our internal training, they've achieved very high standards of work throughout the whole period they've been with us. Because we had such a large number of 6 candidates, we segregated it into 2 groups of 3 people. So at any one time we only had 3 students leaving or not in the department for 1 day a week. So it worked very well around what our requirements were, and obviously what the college needed to have in there for their training. So it didn't put us out at any time. I think in the very early stages there was a sort of, why are you taking on such youngsters and all the rest of it, but they have warmed as a group, and even the biggest critics have sort of had to admit that what a good group they have been, and they've gelled very well within the workforce. I think it's an important part of moving into the workplace. They are learning skills, not just obviously how to work or carry out a specific skill. They're learning life skills of having to deal with people, etc., which probably sometimes when you're in a college or university environment, that can sometimes be lost. So there's a lot to gain from this. It's given us the opportunity to train people to a good standard, introduce them into the healthcare environment, and they've learnt an awful lot about hospital life here. And yes, we would like to keep most of them on if we could, but if they need to move on to other areas such as into theatres or into wards, they've gained knowledge, so they do understand what to be expected, what will be expected of them. We are required to put very high standards into our level of work here in the Sterile Service Department. We are accredited to ISO standards, so it's very important that the level of work that is produced here is of good quality, and it's obviously the important thing is that the work they carry out is going to have an effect on a patient, because obviously even though they don't have patient contact, the work they actually carry out actually is performed onto a patient at the end of the day. Yes, we would like to carry on the apprenticeship scheme. we appreciate times that are difficult at the moment, but we do feel there is a need here, and we haven't been put off. In fact, I think the feeling of all the staff is that we would like to continue with an apprenticeship scheme here at Musgrove Park Hospital.
I'm Sophie, I'm 20, but when I started I was 19 on this apprenticeship. The reason I chose the apprenticeship was because it's just a way to get into a company like the NHS, and I wanted to be here, and it saves you having to go to university or to another training thing when they can train you here and then offer you other training opportunities once you're completed your apprenticeship. And that just appealed to me. I sort of kind of knew what to expect because obviously I've been to college and I've done other MBQs, but you can't get away from the practical experience. You need that in an apprenticeship. It really helps build your skills and your confidence. It works quite good because we get like a day off during the week to be able to go to college. We don't have to study in the workplace as such, and then there are senior mentors and staff here who can help you with professional development. But because you have that separate day, you're not in your uniform, you're just a student, and it is quite relaxing as well. I mean, the people do make a workplace, and when you've got a good team like we have here, the apprenticeship just happens. There's no effort put, well, there is effort put into it, but no one has to make a special effort because everyone's here to help. The learning that we have at college does help here. I mean, luckily the NHS give you sort of like almost a crash course on what you shouldn't do and what you should do, but it's the extra theory knowledge that helps just put the practical into better practice, and that does help. Of course, it's a whole rounded learning experience, not just one area. My advice to someone doing an apprenticeship is do something that you enjoy. Don't pick something just because, it's there. Find something you want to do and really enjoy every minute of it, because it's not just you getting into a company, it's your confidence, it's the knowledge, and obviously working in a team with some companies really just helps build life skills as well as getting you into a hopefully good career. My future, hopefully I hope to stay here, and I would love to be a senior mentor, which is helping other, hopefully apprenticeships or new staff find their feet, and I would love to do that one day.